Wagwan me people, quick thing before we kick off. The views where you hear upon the Father to Father podcast, them strictly for why, the hosts, guests and contributors. Them now represent Catholic Notebook, Spirit Stream Studios, the Diocese, University, or any affiliated groups. You see me? And remember, this podcast are strictly for adult ears, so listen up with discretion.
Welcome to Father, where life and faith meet. A place for the soul, where wisdom speaks. Hope in the message, strength in the beat. Welcome to Father, where life and faith meet.
What's going on, man?
So what's cracking?
Same old. You know, I was reading
That's an old man move, dog. Like, you got indigestion, you gotta stop talking because you're just like, it's passing. It is.
this is one of those things where, like, dude, it doesn't matter how many things I have planned out. If my body says, like, nah, we're not doing it, we're just not gonna do it. Because my whole thing was like, yo, I was reading the Federalist Papers. I don't know if you've ever read it. It's
Yes.
like, you've read the Federalist Papers?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't remember much of it, but yeah, I read them.
Well, guess what store sells a little book of the Federalist Papers and a little booklet of the U.S. Constitution? It's $1 a piece. And it's a red booklet called. It's a red book, hardback, and a blue book, hardback. The red book is the Federalist Papers, and the blue book is the U.S. Constitution.
What store sells this?
What store sells this?
Spencer's?
No. 5 and Below.
That okay.
5 and Below sells it.
We want people who cannot afford much to be able to understand the Constitution.
Yeah, and understand the underpinnings of why the Constitution is written, in the way that it's written, and the reason why we have a federalist a federalist system.
Smart.
Like, it's wild to me. Like, the amount of things that I find at 5 and Below is ridiculous.
Just doing God's work.
It's yeoman's work. Yeah, it really is yeoman's work. Anyways, you ready to get started?
Yeah. I thought this was gonna wrap into something that had to do with the next thing we were doing, but sure.
Oh, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Dr. Giovanni.
I'm Father Greg Lambert. What is going on? I thought
It's gonna be one of those shows, people. My back hurts. You know, the barometric pressure outside is messing up with my equilibrium, and the tinnitus in my ears.
But you know what will help the tinnitus in your ears?
What?
Open up a second browser.
You better not.
Open up that second browser. And hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. There's got to be 5 stars because my ego can't take it.
Yes, my ego cannot take it. Welcome to the show, people. Let's get started before I take this and.
Yo, Father Greg, Dr. G, what's good? I know it sounds clear, I know it's misunderstood. The story's wild, yeah, it's out there, no doubt. But just lean in close, just hear me out. Hear me out. Give me time, let me speak. Don't
Ready to hear me out?
the truth.
Yeah.
Alrighty, you already know what it is. 5 stars, you did nothing wrong. 1 star, Confessions on Thursdays. And if you are doing Confessions on Thursdays, let us know. CatholicLiberty.org/follow the father. That's CatholicLiberty.org/
F2F.
But hear me out. I only signed her up as a best friend to show her she can't sing.
This sounds like it's about to be diabolical.
Okay. Hi, Father Greg. Hi, Dr. Gio. My name's Vanessa. Before anybody calls me petty or cruel, please understand I did what I did out of love, hope, charity, and deep, tough, friendship-saving compassion. So my friend Mariah and I have been inseparable since we were 10 years old. We did everything together. Sleepover, prom, job hunting. We even have matching tattoos. She is my sister, truly. But Somewhere around sophomore year, she decided she was destined to be a singer. Now listen, understand me. I love ambition. I'm a follow your dream type of friend. But y'all, she sounds like a goose being mugged by another goose in a wind tunnel.
Yo, she's Southern. She's Southern and she's probably black. That's hilarious.
She's like, it's haunted. I tried to be supportive at first. I said things like, maybe you should start small. Bless your heart. Wow, that's so brave. But she took them all as compliments.
That's so brave. Oh no.
Then it got worse. Karaoke nights, open nights, the church picnic, full-blown
Picnic.
full-blown studio sessions in her mom's basement. I told her straight up, you can't sing. She said I was jealous. I said, no, sugar, I'm protecting you.
I love you.
I love you. She said I was just negative energy.
Okay.
I told her stop watching TikTok.
That's a good friend.
So fine. After months of hearing the goose fight each other,
She broke. She broke. She can't take it anymore.
I decided, okay, maybe reality will be your best therapy. My uncle sits on a board for one of those big regional contests, the type that you get on TV that make it on those TV shows all the time.
Oh.
And then I signed her up anonymously. And the letter came in the mail, and I told her, hey, look, you've been discovered.
Why did she say it like a traveling snake oil salesman? You've been discovered.
By a scout who heard her cover online and must have loved her singing.
Nobody is discovered today. They haven't discovered people since Motown, my guy. Now it's just TikTok. Like that's what SoundCloud. That's what it is.
She lost her mind. She said it was God's confirmation.
Oh, there we go. Put it on my Lord. All right.
Fast forward to audition day. She struts out in a glitter romper, belt in hand. She opens her mouth. I'm sitting in the front row. I cross my legs. I look at the judges. The judges are quiet. It's so quiet. So much so that the only words you hear is the janitor going, damn.
Ain't nobody, and I tell you, nobody hits harder than life. Ain't nobody, dog. Life is undefeated. Reality don't play.
After what felt like 2 hours, really it was only 2 minutes, one of the judges said, sweetheart, you have many gifts. Singing is not one of them. Have you considered wedding design? You have a creative eye. I love the dress and the outfit. Ooh. I'd love to have you on my design team. Oh. She left crying. I felt awful for about 6 minutes. Then I turned. And then she turned on me, sobbing. If I was that bad, why didn't you tell me?
Bruh.
I'd simply pulled out my phone and pressed play of me telling her, Mariah, you suck. You don't sing well. You suck.
She loves you. That woman loves you, dog.
And I stopped the recording and I said, I told you repeatedly, but you need to hear it from someone else. And then I pressed play on the recording again. You sound like two goose fighting
In a wind tunnel.
Stop singing. For the love of God, stop singing. Please don't sing at the church picnic again. You had the baby crying in the front row. Stop. She said, I humiliated her. And now she blocked me on everything.
Dang.
Her mother texted me, God sees you. I texted her back, I'm glad. Because I do it again. She can't sing.
She doubled down. She stood on business.
Father Greg, you always talk about truth and grace. So
Hey, yo.
was I wrong delivering the truth? Should I have just let her? Should I have just let her continue to strangle Geese?
Hey, yo. Oh.
Do you need a recap? No, do you need a recap?
For the people, yes.
Okay, so real fast, TLDR. She's like, listen, my friend can't sing. She sounds like two geese fighting in a wind tunnel. And then I kept telling her, you suck. Stop. You got so many other skills. You suck. She didn't believe me. I signed her up for a big contest and told her, ooh, look, they discovered you. Then she showed up and it was quiet. And the janitor just said, damn. And then the person's like, you have so many meta talents. You could be a great designer. Do you want to work on my design team? Mm-hmm. She left crying. And she's like, why didn't you tell me I sucked? He's like, I did. And she played her the receipts, the video recordings. And she paused and she's like, you suck. And she played it again. And then her mom's called her up. And it's like, hey, God sees you. He's like, good. Because she sucks.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So she's like, should I allow her to strangle Geese and bees? So hear her out. She only signed her up as a friend to show her she can't sing. I'll give you runway. This, I gotta say, out of all the ones we've ever had, this one,
This is actually pretty close on the line.
this is, I already know what I'm gonna give, but this is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Wow. All right. Well, let's start here. I really appreciate the effort and the deep sense of respect and dignity that you have for your friend. Like, yeah, we're a kiki and ha-ha about a whole lot of stuff, and that's just kind of like how Southern people do it. But like, legit, the fact that you had the recording of what exactly you said and when you said it was not to be thrown in your friend's face. It was to act as a marker because you knew that she was going to say this. Just in case she did say, why didn't you ever tell me this? Why didn't you protect me? I did. I tried to protect you.
Right.
And here's when I tried to protect you.
Right.
Because she doesn't want to lose the relationship. Because she actually does love this person. You are a good friend. Like, I will tell you this. You are a legit good friend. Some of the motives on how we decided to go about doing this, it was a little harsh because she really gave her hopes up in this. But let me just go ahead.
Nah, do it again.
I know, she doubled down on it. And I get why she doubled down on it. But can I just say, not just to you, the individual who's putting this forward, but also to everybody who's listening to this, this is such an important aspect of when we pray for gifts from the Holy Spirit. And how is this going to connect? I promise you there's a point, right? Don't skip past this. When we pray for gifts of the Holy Spirit, we often forget that gifts of the Holy Spirit are to be affirmed by the people of God in the community in which they're being helped with. Let me just say that again.
Slow it down. Say it again for everybody.
The gifts that we pray for from the Holy Spirit are to be affirmed by the community in which we are using the gifts. So we can pray for the gift of being able to sing or the gift of being able to preach, but the community that you are serving will affirm the fact that you have that gift. I'm not saying that the gift comes from the community before it comes from God. It always comes from God. But what we do with that gift in serving the community will easily be able to say, yeah, you have a gift. For example, not to put myself in the middle of it, but people can tell that when I am preaching, when I've prayed about when I pray deeply with the Lord about what it is that I'm preaching, there is no mistake. I take myself out of it.
Can I add another layer to what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like, not only will the community see it, it will not come hard to you. It will be
Yes.
second nature. It will be
Yes.
like breathing.
Yes.
You'll be able to wake up the next morning and just do it
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Yes.
So when you're sitting out here talking about like, oh, I'm struggling. Yes, because you have a cap. There's certain skills where you just have a cap and you're not going to get any better. No matter what you do, you're not going to get any better than that cap. And that's fine. But for other skills, you can roll out of bed tomorrow and do it. Like if I were to ask you right now, give me a homily, and you'd be like, all right, well, on what? And I'm just like, science fiction. And you'd be able to give me a whole homily connected back to grace and love and charity on science fiction.
Absolutely.
And so like, but that comes second nature to you. That is something that you do like breathing because it's part of your gift. Public speaking is a gift for you.
Yeah.
That is fundamentally a gift for you.
Absolutely. And other people who hear that can say, oh, yeah, you have a gift.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying and what I'm trying to go ahead and tell to the people who are listening to this, and particularly to the person who sent in this question, your friend tried her hardest to say that she had a gift from God for singing. And the community did not affirm that this gift existed at all.
At all.
At all. At all. And there's no amount of prayer. There's no amount of trying to form fit it of God's grace that can make up for the reality of God's grace. You can have training. You can probably go and get voice lessons and be serviceable. You can. It's not impossible unless you have something wrong with your vocal cords. But that doesn't necessarily mean that God has gifted you the grace to be a good singer, because you put so much extra work into making sure, trying to say, this is something I want to do. It does not mean because you have a love for it, doesn't mean that God can't give you a grace to be serviceable at it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that God has given this with the intention that you're going to bless his people with this gift. So all that is to say that, hey, one, you're a really good friend. Two, when we pray for God's grace, for skill sets, for talent, for something to be able to be serviceable and cultivating towards God's people, because let's remember, when we pray for fruit, the fruit isn't for the tree. The fruit is for other people. The fruit is for nourishment for other people. The fruit is for seeds to be planted to create a forest. God's gifts are meant for cultivation of other people. That's what that's for. So if we're praying for a gift to be good for ourselves, that's not the point of it. So I commend you on loving your friend. I think there's probably a better way we could have went about showing them. And I get that you were like, yo, you tried. You have the recordings, the receipts to say, yo, you tried. The way you went about it hurt her, and you knew that it would. And I know you felt like you were kind of backed into a corner here. But I wish there would have just been a different way of going about it. Because the reality is, if you knew that she couldn't sing and other people knew that she couldn't sing, she was going to run up against the wall anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like, she looked like this was this was like a delusional reality for her.
Yeah.
And she really wanted it to be a thing because she didn't want to do the other thing.
Yeah.
There was something that, like, she said she came out in this glitter dress and all that stuff. And even the judge is like, do you want to come work for me?
Yeah.
As this thing?
That's an opportunity. That's God's grace.
Yeah. It's like, you clearly are a designer.
Yes.
You're not a singer.
And what happened is, because you were so caught up in trying to form fit yourself into a singer, you missed the very clear opportunity that not very many people get to have. That someone else affirmed for you from the very beginning.
Yeah.
You have style. You have something that is hard to come by. I want your gift to be used for my company.
Yeah.
That's a gift.
And that very rarely happens in like competitions where like
Yes.
you go up and you sing and you're like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks.
There's
And
no swimmer who's out here doing Olympic swimming saying, hey, you're not good at swimming, but I would love you on my bobsled team. That's so incredibly, that's a crazy story if you heard that.
It's just like, and then they're like the best bobsledder in the world.
Yes.
You're like, yo, what?
Yes.
How'd you get involved in bobs? Like, well, I failed at swimming, and this is just swimming on ice.
Someone noticed me and said, you are perfect for my team. How insane of a story would that be? But this is very similar to what's happening here.
Yeah. But I mean, like, a lot of people would sit there and block a blessing like that because they want what they want.
Yes.
And that's basically what it is. Like, I want what I want. Like, I want to be a good speaker. It's like, yeah, but you stumble over your words all the time.
Yes.
Don't do it.
You're not good at basic communication, and
Like-
your intelligence, your emotional intelligence is incredibly low, and you need all of that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like, even I look at this podcast and I go, we started this podcast. If either one of us was really bad at speaking, this podcast would be a
No.
disaster.
Yes. Yeah. If either one of us were really bad at speaking, we would not be in the same room together. It's
Yeah.
like, why would I sit here and drag myself through mud every single week? Every single week.
And you're like, I gotta carry this show. What am I doing?
For what?
It's purgatory.
Meet me at the water cooler.
Maybe at the water cooler. So what are you giving it?
Honestly, man, this is so hard.
I'm giving it 4. And let me tell you why I'm giving it 4.
Right.
And the only reason why I'm giving it a 4 is because, like, she went in with, like, I'm going to pile drive you through a table.
Yes.
That's the only reason why I'm giving her a 4. Because everything else she did, I'm like, yeah, I would have done the exact same thing. You don't need to pile drive her through a table. She would have done that by herself. Just like eventually some little kid would have walked up to her and said, hey, miss, can you stop talking? Because you sound horrible.
Yeah.
And that would have been her wake-up call.
Yes.
It wouldn't have taken much. It would have, so you really didn't need to, like, set her up to fall type of thing. It just would have happened naturally.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why you don't get a 5.
Exactly. I'm really impressed that you clocked it immediately, because what I was going to say was I really want to give her a 5, but I just can't because of the way she went about it. So I'm going to give her a 4.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, if it wasn't for the end execution, it would have been taken care of. And you know what would have ended up happening? She probably wouldn't have told you about the kid that said it.
No.
She would have stopped singing.
She would-
never talked about it again.
One of two things. Either she would have still blown up and said, why didn't you tell me? And then, because I kind of feel like the singing thing for her, you know what it is? I just deep this. Probably the singing for the friend. Mariah sucks at singing. But the friend that wrote into us, she is an actual singer. And she's good at singing. Because she
Probably.
also comes from, because I didn't deep it at the time. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Your family is
Yeah, you have an
tied
uncle
in
that does this with
to the
talent?
regional thing that ties into all these competitions that you see on TV. Wait a minute, are you good at singing? Her name's Vanessa. Yeah, Vanessa.
Probably. She probably has.
Is she
ability.
really good at singing? And now she wants to be like her friend who's really good at singing. So they got something together because they've done everything else together. But the one thing they can't share is
the
singing.
talent? Yeah, because one has talent, the other one doesn't. That's tough.
And that's hard.
That's real hard.
That's hard. That's an insecurity to the max.
But you got to own yourself in order to get over that insecurity.
But that's rough though.
No, it is. I
That's-
acknowledge that it is.
That's rough. Could you imagine us not having similar skill sets?
Yeah, I could. It would be.
I can't imagine.
It'd be interesting
I can't imagine that working though.
because we wouldn't be able to do all the same things that we do. However, we have enough of a variation in our skill set to be experts in what we're doing.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but that's we're both really good public speakers.
Yeah,
Although our styles are very different.
very different.
And so, like, the expression is going to be different, but you and I can sit there and we can talk about a whole bunch of stuff, and it's fine, and we can have tons of engaging conversations about a ton of different stuff.
Correct.
But that's not the same thing as I can't speak for the life of me when
Yes.
the lights are on and the pressure's on,
Yes.
and whatever. Because we could walk into a meeting today not knowing anything, and then both of us are playing off of each other like we've been doing this for years.
I walked into an interview today, and also for those of you who don't know, I walk into these sessions completely blind.
Yes, I prepare for these sessions.
I walk in on a Friday and put this microphone up to my lips and I let him read me stuff. The reactions that you hear from these hear me outs are real reactions because I've never heard this before.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here going like, all right, let's see. We got to do this. We got to do this. All right. We got 3 outros. We got these. And he's just like, okay, cool. So what we do? I'm like, dog. All right.
They're not sending me emails. I don't know.
Whatever. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? Let us know. CatholicBiblical.org/father. CatholicBiblical.org/.
F2F.
Let us know.
I hear strangling geese.
All right, so Captain Luke did their 1-2 thing. ask people questions. We're continuing. We had like a lot of these questions that people want to ask us. And they're just saying like, hey, just answer the questions about the Catholic faith. Hey, just do it. Father Greg, answer them. Dr. Gio, you got your one. You got your thoughts. Just throw it in there. First question. If purgatory is basically spiritual detox, can I book it early?
What?
Can I bank some sins in to land into like purgatory so that I can detox and go straight to heaven afterwards?
I don't think I've ever heard that question asked that way before. It's not good or bad. I've never heard that.
It's like,
I don't think we should ever aim for purgatory. I really don't.
But that's what most Catholics talk about. Like, yo, I think here's the thing that I always found fascinating. Protestants talk about, yes, I'm going to heaven. Mm-hmm. When you talk to Catholics, they never talk about going to heaven. They're like, I'm going to purgatory, and if I'm good enough, I might touch heaven. But I'm good enough to avoid hell. Like, I've never, like, even the most like devout Catholic, they don't talk about like, yo, going to heaven. They're just like, I've just cut off time that I've spent in purgatory. Like, everybody just assumes we're all going to purgatory. It's just a matter of time that we're spending there and what level of purgatory we're going to be. No one is presuming that we're getting into heaven. They're like, do you know what I do behind closed doors?
Somebody does. Somebody does.
And that's why. And like, but when you talk to Protestants, they're like, yes, I'm going to heaven. They're like emphatic about it. Almost like disrespectful to the point of where he's like, how dare you question my conviction? And it's like, when you talk to a Catholic, they're like, listen, I'm a long ways off from death, but even then, purgatory, it sounds all right. Like, we all gonna be in purgatory together, and we're gonna make it out eventually. Like, it's just a holding cell till we get to heaven.
That's a whole lot of weed.
But that's how most Catholics see it. I've very rarely heard, even saints don't really talk about like going to heaven like that.
Yeah,
they don't really talk about heaven like that. They really talk about purgatory, and they talk about like, yo, you fallen on the mercy of God, just be glad he ain't killing you. Like, that's
that's
am
true.
I wrong?
That's true. Well, what was the original question per se?
Can I book time in purgatory ahead of time?
I feel like a lot of Catholics look at purgatory as like the water cooler in the DMV before you get you get to the promised land.
I mean, pretty much.
It's not necessarily like that. Like, and no, to answer the question, please don't like hold on to a couple sins saying, all right, cool, all my mortal sins are gone, all I got is venial sins, so if I just die with these, then I'll make sure that I like secure my spot in purgatory and get number 100,687. Like, no, you don't want that. You want to aim for heaven. You want to always aim for that. Like, that's my aim. I want to be a saint. And not like in the way like that's cutesy that Catholics say, like in the new cultural way of like, oh, we should all aim for sainthood. Like, yes, we should, but like legitimately, I want to be a saint.
Yeah,
like I want to be a canonized saint, and I'm not worried about like my life here on earth when it's gone. I desire to be a saint in heaven, and that people who see me and see my life, that's an inspiration to others that can lead them on the path to holiness. I would not say that I am there. Like, I am trying my hardest here, but that's what the aim is, with my understanding that I'm going to fail multiple times because I'm a broken person.
right.
But moving forward, I know that the grace of God allows me to be everything that I am right now from where I've started, and he leads me everywhere that I'm going to be in the future. That's the aim.
Is there a reason why Catholics like almost instinctively never talk about heaven?
What do you mean by never?
Let me rephrase that. Not never. Is there a reason why Catholics don't speak about heaven in the same way that Protestants speak about heaven? Because Protestants are very firm. Like, yeah, I'm going to heaven because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm doing this because of X, Y, and Z. And that's going to like, even the Protestants that are more Lutheran, which are like, or Anglican, which are very close to the Catholic Church, they say like, I'm doing this because it leads me on the path to heaven.
Yeah.
But Catholics don't speak that way, even though theologically it would be sound for them to say, I'm doing this because it's leading me on the path to heaven.
Yeah. I would say it's because of the tangible reality of what they experience at Mass. And by that, I mean there is something physical that they are receiving at Mass, the sacraments, the body and blood of Christ. Not just that priest, but the many saints and the traditions, the tangible realities that we receive within the Catholic Church allows you to know what it is that is being asked of you and where you're supposed to be going. For example, many of us can say, oh, as a goal in my life, I want to run a marathon. Sounds real good to put on there. It's a great aspiration. I hope that you make it. But in order to run a marathon, there is practice. There is a daily grind. There is running 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles. There is a regime that you have to go through. There is routine. There is waking up early. There is a changing of diet. There's all of these things that will make it easier for you to run a marathon and to finish the race. And not to walk any of it, to actually run and finish the race, as St. Paul would say.
Wait, you can't walk a marathon and say that you ran a marathon?
You can walk a marathon, but that's more like a fundraiser than it is like a race. You're not racing anybody. Like, you finished, good job. That's great. But some people ran the entire time. There's some people who took this a lot, I'm not going to say more seriously, but they put real work into their preparation to be here. And so it's very similar when it comes to what is being asked of us within the Catholic Church. Now, the doors are open to everybody. Don't get me wrong. But there are some people that take this race so seriously, they're not deviating off the path. And if they do, they're looking for God's grace and mercy immediately. Some of us are not at that point. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Some of us are like, yo, I signed up. I'm here. What you upset about?
Yeah. I think that's a rough reality.
It is a rough reality. It's so tangible.
It's uncomfortable.
It should be uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable conversation. But God doesn't leave us in the uncomfortableness of our reality. He sits with us. He walks with us.
Yeah.
So if you're walking this race right now, God's walking with you. If you're running, God's running with you. We're all going towards the same finish line.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Next question. Can holy water expire, or is it just downgraded to moderately blessed after a certain period of time?
I really like this question. That's funny.
Well, you get premium holy water, but after 180 days, it gets downgraded to moderately blessed holy water, and then after a year and a half, it gets downgraded to crude holy water.
So come now and get it for $59.99.
Join me now. That's the intro. That's a subdued intro, but that's still the intro. Buy your holy water from us. Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. There is
Is there grades to holy water for real?
no. What's his bless is bless.
No, I feel like there should be.
Why?
Wait, hold on. So if I get holy water blessed by Pope, who's new Pope now? Pope Pius?
Pope Leo.
Leo. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, I'm still on like Francis and Benedict. Like those are the popes.
Yeah, he's retired.
Yeah, for
heaven.
good.
In heaven.
In heaven. No, but you got Pope Leo, right?
Yeah.
So if Pope Leo gave me holy water, I feel like that's a higher grade of holy water than if my local priest gave me holy water.
I mean, fair enough. Like the Pope blessed it. Like
So if the cardinal gave me holy water, that's a higher grade of holy water than if my bishop gave me holy water.
I mean, if you want to think about it that way.
What do you mean think about it that way? If a saint gave me holy water, that's higher than if like a regular smegular deacon gave me holy water.
But it's the same blessing. They may have more faith than average priests, but it's the same blessing.
it had word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if it heals you, amazing. But if it doesn't, does that make it not as potent?
Maybe it's not good enough. Like maybe the person who turned the water into holy water didn't do it right.
Well,
I need a higher grade of holy water because the problem I have is a higher grade of a situation.
I will say this. In the scripture, it says that we should, if we have the faith of a mustard seed, then we can say to the mountains, get up and move, and they'll move away.
Throw yourself into the ocean and it will throw themselves into the ocean.
Exactly. There
Which
you go.
I never understood. To this day, I still want to understand what that metaphor actually means.
I don't think you do, sir.
I don't know what it means. I don't know what that metaphor means. It's like, yo, I say if I have a faith in because a mustard seed, I don't think people understand how small a mustard seed actually is.
It's incredibly small.
It is like on the needle, like on the head of a needle type of small. And it's like, all right, cool. So if I had faith that small, which is basically like, do you believe in God? Yeah. That's it.
That's what we say that faith that small would be from our standards. But by God's standard, faith in itself is believing the things that have not been seen or heard of yet.
Okay.
What God has promised.
Fine. I have faith that small. So I could go to the Himalayas and be like, into the water. And then the Himalayas be like, yup. And then into like.
God didn't say it'll be immediate.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
I could imagine.
Nepal and Bhutan would have a field day.
I know exactly who your children are. And God, I truly believe that God listens to the prayers of children. Could you imagine if Claire or Sophia got everything that they ever asked for?
No, I can't.
Neither of us would be alive. Like at some point, she would have prayed, I don't wish for death of my uncle because I love him, but he told me no TV. I hope his knees give out the next time he prays. Like I can totally see Sophia praying for that. And thinking it's okay.
You walking up the stairs, your knees fall out, you fall backwards. You're hurt, but you're not dead. No, but for real though, like faith in mustard seed, like what does that even look like? What does it even look like?
I think God's reality.
Was that a metaphor or like reality?
I think that's reality.
All right, say less.
I read that as reality. I interpret that as reality.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Like I said, I've always struggled with it because I'm like, if this is speaking like metaphorically, I don't understand what the metaphor is. If it's speaking like literally, how do I get like I have more I think I have more faith than a mustard seed, but then what does that mean? Like what does the translation actually mean? You know, because it's throwing like I'm not saying like, oh, I'm gonna go to the mountain and say like throw yourself into the ocean and immediately it's gonna throw yourself into the ocean.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I look at my everyday life and I go, okay, so then when I do X, Y, or Z, God's gonna move on his own time. I get it, but like, shouldn't I see an immediate change or something? Like, is that what that's saying? Like there'll be an immediate change?
No, it doesn't say there's going to be an immediate change at all in that.
All right. I'm learning just like everybody else that's listening.
Same.
All right, one more question, then we get out of here. How many candles do you have to light before it becomes witchcraft? Because when I look at the altar at Mass, we are lighting way too many candles in way too specific of an order. How many do we need, Father Greg? I think one is good enough. But to have 15, sometimes 22, that's way too much.
Yo, I don't know who's putting 22 candles on the altar. That is too much. 22 is too much. Okay, so I'll give you the hard and fast rule. And so if,
Yo, these questions are aggressive.
they are so aggressive. I'll give you the hard and fast rule, and if you see anything deviating from this rule, that's your business. I'm just letting you know what it says in the not in the catechism, in like the liturgical documents, right? So for the altar, there should be 6 candles, no more than 6 candles on the altar. So 3 on one side, 3 on the other. It doesn't matter how they're put on there. They can be in a candelabra. They can be on candle stands or on the side of the altar.
Explain to people what a candelabra is.
A candelabra is a luminaire from Beauty and the Beast.
Ah,
Yeah, that's what that is. Be our guest, be our guest. I don't know if I can sing that. Anyway, so yeah, that's what a candelabra is. And then, so no more than 6. And then you got your candle that is the Easter candle that is usually supposed to be in the sanctuary.
Okay.
And then you have your sanctuary candle that is basically over your tabernacle or near your tabernacle, the red one. That's it. There can be candles by the ambo, right? There can be a candle on one side.
Right.
But that's no more than like 1 candle on one side. There shouldn't be like 3 candles on one side for the ambo, 3 candles on the other side.
Okay.
I don't know where there is 22 candles on the sanctuary.
You know what
That's
I
none of
think
my
it
business.
is? It's more for like, and I've seen this before, where you have Christmas celebration, where they have candles all over the altar on either side that kind of leads up to the altar, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's like these little tea candles, and it goes into like the side walls, and they have the flowers that adorn either side of the altar, and the priest walks up, and then the whole church illuminates at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, and then when they go to repose everybody and the church main lights turn off, then you just see the candles on either side just are on, and that just looks beautiful.
Oh, for sure.
That's usually like 130, almost 200 candles, because I've set those up before, and I think it's incredibly beautiful, but it's labor intensive.
Oh yeah.
And it's a lot of candles. The one church I did it for, they used real candles. They were champions. They used real candles. They're like, no, we're not using mechanical candles. We're using real candles. And we had to burn real. It got so hot in that church.
I bet.
It got so hot in that church. Like, we had 200 candles burning during mass. They had to open up the window. The only saving grace that we had was that it was in a state where it was north enough that you can open up the windows during winter, and the fresh rush air was just like, oh, because it was so hot from all those candles. It was intense. All the windows and doors were open.
That's open flame.
It was all open. But yeah, it looked beautiful. It looked so beautiful. Bam. Man, that's it. That's that segment.
Goodness gracious.
You gotta like these questions are great. I like these questions. I like these questions. So the Captain Notice research team did their 1-2 thing. And they asked people, well, specifically priests this time around, finish the sentence. Finish the sentence. You know, I love being a Catholic priest. But, and we're finishing it.
What?
We're bringing this back. You know, we're bringing it back. I love being a Catholic priest. But every time someone says, Father, can I grab you for a quick confession? My soul leaves my body.
Why?
Because it's never quick. And it's always counseling. It's never the confession.
Yeah. Most of the time it's like a time in crisis, and it's right before. I got stories for you, and I can't tell you exactly what happened but the reality is, yeah, that happens. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. No, I feel you. All right, so here's another one. I don't know how to tell my parishioners that I can see who's Venmoing during mass.
What? Who are they Venmoing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe because our parish has this where you can Venmo the parish as part of your collection.
Yeah.
And maybe like it's linked to, it shouldn't be linked to his personal account, but it might be like linked to an account that's a link to his phone. And so if he has an Apple Watch, he will start getting pings. Someone's Venmoing in the middle of his homily, like, yo, this is really annoying. This is really annoying. There's a time for this.
But doesn't that make you feel great though? Like, you're in the middle and someone donates like $2,000 because your homily, you're like, okay.
Well, I was just thinking about that. Sometimes, every now and again, there are things that we ask for, and we try our best not to make it sound like we're asking for money. And maybe it's just because me personally, I get very uncomfortable about asking for money.
You try your best.
I try my best to not make it like, I don't like asking for money, so I try to pitch it in a way of like, hey, I have to ask for this because this is something that we need as subsistence, but I want you to know that I'm not taking your money from you.
Right.
And so, like, for example, charitable giving and estate planning. That's just another way of saying, hey, when you die, if your kids ain't worthy and your grandkids ain't worthy, give us your money when you die.
Yo,
like, that's what it is.
Can I tell you this? This was probably the best estate planning pitch I think I've ever heard from a Catholic priest. It was a mass in, I want to say, Huntsville, Alabama. So father gets up there, probably like mid 40s, not too old, not too young. He gets up there and he's just like, you know, this Sunday is the bishop's appeal, all this stuff. And he's talking about it, and he's talking about being a good steward. And then he breaks it down and he goes, you know, let's just be honest.
Let's be honest, Father.
And he just goes, let's be honest. Some of the kids in this room don't deserve anything.
Yo! Hey, yo!
But you know what? God gives mercy and grace anyways.
Man, what is this?
And then he goes a step further. He goes, you know what? And if we're continuing being honest, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. What are you going to do at a house when your kids don't even visit you?
What?
Unless it's once a year, if that. Then you haven't seen your kids in the last 10 years. But your kids don't visit you. But you know who comes and visits you? And then he starts listing off the people in the homebound ministry. They come and visit you.
I will fight this man. Because if I'm the son sitting next to my mom, I'm pissed. Because I know my mom. Even if I was just there this week, she'll say I didn't visit her because I didn't visit her twice in a week.
Yeah, no.
Or heaven forbid, I don't call her once a week.
Yeah,
that's it.
But you didn't text her and then call her twice or 3 times in a week to check up on her
Because you're not giving her support.
Because you hate her as a son.
Yes, must be.
You're a horrible
must be
son.
What it is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro.
So he takes it one step further and he goes, yeah. So you know, this, and then he hits it because this was the first time I ever heard the word safe space was in this homily in my life. Now, keep in mind, I was like 14 at the time, 14, 15 around that time. So he stands up and he's like, and this is a safe space. We can all be ourselves. We can all just tell the truth.
We.
We.
Are you speaking French, my boy?
French.
We playing video games, my boy?
French. He's like, we can all just be ourselves. We can all just tell the truth. So, when your kids don't show up for Christmas for the second year in a row.
Yo, what if they got work? What if they live far away? What if they got a family?
They don't call you anymore.
What if they're at their in-laws?
And the doors of the church is open. Let us continue to take care of you after you die.
Bro. Diabolical. Absolutely diabolical.
Die. After Mass, there were so many people. There was a whole table and like 4 or 5 different accountants, 3 lawyers. There's so many people like signing up their estates to like just be managed by the church after Mass.
Y'all can't see, but I'm shaking my head vigorously. Vigorously.
It was the best pitch. I was like, dang.
Dog, if I'm the son, that priest catching the RKO, he gonna have to see me. He's gonna have to see me in his office. I can't. I can never. I can never.
No, you can't. But like he did. It's some of these homilies that just stay with me. Mm-hmm. Like it just sticks with you. You're like,
I got a couple.
All right, a few more. The thing was, I love being a priest. I love being a Catholic priest. But I've given homilies to people scrolling through Zillow.
Call that estate planning.
Sometimes I practice my wedding homily voice in the mirror like it's a Grammy. Like it's the Grammys. It's,
I do have a different voice when I preach, though.
You do.
I have to. It's like a focus on diction and pronunciation.
Yeah, you have a weird. You turn into a completely different person when you preach.
But I'm only preaching the things I believe in.
Also, I'm not going to drag him on this. Like I'm not. I really am not because I love him. I love him. As a brother, I love him.
But
he confuses me because his homilies are so passionate. It just lacks diction sometimes.
Yeah,
like
fair enough.
it's hard to understand what he's saying, and then when he does the mass parts, I understand everything. It's like all of a sudden he's speaking just da 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 da, and you understand everything. But like,
I think you're talking about a separate priest.
Huh?
I think you're talking about a specific priest. That's not me.
Yeah, I'm talking about someone else. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So like, I just don't want to drag him. That's what I'm saying. Because I understand because English is not his first language, and for me it was like a jarring thing. Because like he preaches so passionately, but like his diction is lost in all of it. So you're catching maybe like 1 or 2 sentences at most. And like sometimes I talk to Brittany afterwards, and she's like, "Oh yeah," he said. Brrr. I'm like, "How did you get any of that?" I feel like you're filling in the blank like it's Mad Labs.
Dog,
like,
you're
this is
also
not-
someone who speaks other languages.
I am, and that's why it pisses me off.
Oh my god!
Because then when we get to like the mass parts, he just goes da 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 da, and he sounds like a completely different person. Mass parts, he sounds like he was Farmer John in like.
Because that's the part you can't mess up. That's written. That never changes. And they said if you're gonna be bad at something, be bad at the other part. Be bad at the homily. Don't be bad at this part. Because we're talking about the institution of the Eucharist. You better get this right. And so all of a sudden your accent changes.
Yeah, and I can't. It's not even, and I'm not even clowning him. It's just one of my like, because it's one of those things for me. It's it's a hearing thing, and so like I'm listening, and then I'm like, and then all of a sudden, literally, it went from hello, and this is the thing, and this is the thing, and this is. I'm like, yo, where was this in the homily?
And see, you're looking at it from a charitable perspective of someone who understands other cultures. Think about all the other, respectively, the white people of Iowa who don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
And they want it just to be normal and everyday and car wash simple for them.
Yeah, no, I see that. Because like the thing is like, and he is like, you could tell he spends a lot of time on his homilies, and whatever it is that he's like saying, he's spending time on it. And at times, and it's probably on me that I'm just not like focused enough.
Well, English is a hard language.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like he is really passionate about it, and he hasn't lost his joy at all, which has been really cool.
Yeah.
And like that goes to show you, especially with the pastor there. Specifically, because very easily pastors can destroy young priests.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So the fact that this young guy is there, English is clearly not his first language, but he's so passionate still in his homilies, and he's engaged throughout all different ministries and all that stuff. To me, is a good sign of a pastor. Like the pastor's developing him well.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And so, like, I'm watching him grow, and it's kind of cool. It's an unfair comparison to compare him to you, because you're kind of like,
I'm different. I was raised
no,
in
you're
America.
LeBron. But you're LeBron James entering into the NBA.
The chosen one.
He's
Golly.
pretty much like a developmental league player that has grown over time, and now he's playing, and now he has starting minutes, but he's rotational, and he's like he's building up. No, it's just the reality of a young priest. Like most young priests have to go through growing pains. You come out here and you're already dropping like rings. You've been on Cuomo twice. You've been interviewed for documentaries. You're doing all this stuff. Like
I literally just came from an interview before we got
that's just what I'm saying. So you can't look at me like, oh well, no, I'm Mr. Humble. Humble my behind. I mean, you can be, but I won't. I'm not gonna lie to the people. Okay, that's it. That's it for the show. You're looking at me like, we gotta get out of here though. We run out of time.
Thank goodness. I don't like bragging about myself.
Yeah, but I do. It's great. It's great. It's so much fun. Hey, for all of us here at Catholic Notebook in the Spirit Stream Studios, we love you. You're very special.
Go for it. Very good fruit.
We out.
Peace.
Where life and faith meet.
Father to Father is a production of Spirit